My mind blowing from the 420 growing. And don't judge me, cause even at night, I'm like a bright light and I'm glowing. I'm on a boat rowing, the moonlight shining off the river, freestyle. And guess what? The breeze is ever flowing. I be knowing the truth, and it smells worse than your colon. I graduated from the same school as General Powell Colin in Harlem, New York, where I studied and I was molded, where a crackhead killed my aunt, and the same night his life was stolen. Divine Street Justice, the Daily News did the reporting. My heart pumps fire, and my blood filled with desire. I wanna uproot my people out of this freaking quagmire. I don't have a sire. The goal is to elevate and transcend higher. The same thing I want for you, I should want for me.
Your thoughts on liquid loans. Yet again, similar to Hadron, I do not have time to go learn about other people's projects which do not yet exist or have audits. Don't care. Maybe I'll care when they exist and have audits. And I really don't care about anything else that may have its own ticker symbol that wants to compete with ticker symbols that I invented. So if I keep getting asked questions about these things and I'm forced to pseudo shill for them by giving them like mind space, I'm going to just add them to the bad words list. So y'all better slow down with that.
What's going on, everybody? It's your host, the Crypto Wonder from the Crypto Wonder Podcast. I hope this episode finds you well, and let's get right into it. So, Richard Hart had a live stream yesterday, and one of the things that, well, let's just talk about like updates. These are the only 3 things that we need completed so that everything, basically it would be a go for PulseChain, PulseX. The 3 things: completing the sacrifice totals for PulseChain and PulseX. The second is what? The automated moneymaker, what I call the automated moneymaker, the fixer bot that has to basically create like the ratios, because everything is going to be increased a millionfold due to the sacrifice, due to how many sacrifice points were allocated or created during the sacrifice period for PulseChain. So multiply everything times 1,000,000, and the fixer bot is going to do its thug thizzle. Sacrifice totals 1, fixer bot, basically that's going to create the market. The bot that's going to create the market. And the DAO token, the DAO. Those are the only 3. DAO, DAO token, fixer bot, sacrifice total. That's all. That's it. That's for right now. That's it. That's according to what he said, we're very close. We're very close to completing all of the tasks that in the checklist, and let's make it do what it's about to do. Scam fact of the day. I'm just gonna put this out there real quick. Scam fact of the day. This is completely unrelated to what I'm talking about. Unrelated to Pulse. Unrelated to Hex, PulseX. Yesterday, January 16th, marked 4 years since BitConnect scammed on everybody. All right? 4 years had already passed already. Yesterday marked 4 years since BitConnect, one of the biggest scams in crypto, occurred. 4 years. Moving on. So, it's funny because during the live stream yesterday, I caught bits and pieces of it, and I caught the majority of it on the replay. You got to remain in tune. This is how you're kept abreast as to what's going on. This third party thing came up again. You see, people want to vilify me and act like I'm the one who's fudding, I'm hating, I'm doing this and that and that and this. All I'm doing is sharing how I'm going to protect what's mine. And I don't care about what anybody else got going on. I don't care what any third party is promising, because right now for me, and that's great, because you're talking about a blockchain that's forking Ethereum, right? That's going to allow most of all of Ethereum current projects that are working on top of Ethereum to be copied over to Pulse, so they can continue to do what they do on Ethereum, they could do over there onto Pulse. It is what it is. The only thing I'm focusing on right now is because is Hex. Then that's me. Is Hex, PulseChain, PulseX, and this DAO token that's coming out. Hex on both chains, PulseChain, PulseX, and the DAO token. That's that. Look, I'm starting out the gate with that. And when you do that, like, and this is me. This is not financial advice. But that's just comfortable for me to just sit, watch, and just look. If I don't look at this thing for another 2 years, you think I'm gonna be mad 2 years from now? If I don't do anything from now to 2 years from now, I'm straight. This is the thing that people don't really understand. If you do nothing, like you just focus on whatever you gotta do outside of Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX. You hold on to those things. You hold on to those tokens. You hold on to those cryptos. What more do you have to do? Especially if you're already staking. You can do anything you want. But I'm going to hold on. All these third parties that coming out, and I've been telling y'all, look at what he just said. Look at what he just said. He don't care for them like that. And y'all, the ones that just are completely buying into the Kool-Aid of hype, because I'm seeing history repeat itself over and over and over and over and over again. We've seen how many times we've seen projects, ICOs of the past, whatever come and go and promise communities about what they're going to do with an idea and then end up rugging the communities. But you know what? I'm not Cape Crusader. I'm not the crypto savior, crypto captain hero save-a-ho. I'm not that person. I'm not. I just talk about it because it's annoying when I'm seeing people, speak about certain things and they don't just give a complete balanced perspective. And what I'm saying by that is the Schiller, okay, if you have a platform and you willingly open and offer these people to shill or speak about their platform and present whatever they're giving to you and your audience, there's a certain level of responsibility at you as a content creator that you have in displaying some type of fairness. Like, you have to vet, you have to go hard and ask the hard questions for these people, because this is about money. This is what it's all been about and always will be about. And I don't care what anybody tells you, man. And it's always true. And this is going to be the realest narrative that I'm always going to push from now on. Crypto is a solo sport. I don't care what community you think you're a part of. Because ultimately, when it's just you and your devices, when it's time for you to make decisions, you're doing it on your own, all by your lonesome. There's not a community that's watching you click send, click buy, sell, whatever. It's you. So you have to do what's right for you, and you're going to do whatever you want. Yeah, I could put up a bunch of red flags. Red flags, hey, pay attention, watch, this is what happened before. You might want to go this way, because if you go that way, this is what can happen. You may end up losing everything. You don't have to listen to me. I just do it because I feel like sometimes it's the right thing to do. And at some point, I'm beating a dead horse, Because I'm not trying, look, whatever is good for a community, whatever product or service that's good for a community, that everybody wins. Everybody. But being that we in this space called crypto, that is crazy dirty. Crypto is dirty. Don't mistake yourself. Don't pretend like this is something that's clean, it's just, it's wholesome, completely righteous. No, you're dealing with money. You're dealing with vilification. You're dealing with people who are aggressively greedy and will stamp and will stamp, like, just step on anyone they need to step on just to get to the top. So, and crypto, still wild, wild west. There's not much regulation in this space. Don't fool yourselves. Don't fool yourselves. Because this is how people are left holding a bad experience, and they leave the crypto space. When they lose their monies, they leave, right? A lot of them leave because there's no way for you to recover. At this point right now, at this time in history, there's no way for you to recover. So when you lose, when you make these decisions, you gotta be responsible and prepared for the consequences of whatever you decide to do. Whatever you decide to do. Because look at what Hex has done. Hex has created millionaires. Hex has created millionaires. People want to experience what that feels like. People want to experience what that feels like. So what did they do? They saw what Hex did. They jumped into PulseChain. Sacrifice. Jumped in. What people did that found out about Hex and missed the PulseChain sacrifice, which right now the sacrifice rate for PulseChain is disgusting. It's like 7,000 times higher than the first 5 days of PulseChain sacrifice. 7,000x higher. That's crazy, right? So basically, you getting for $1, you getting, it'll cost, it's 0.71 of a pulse. Like, you're getting less than 2 pulse points for $1. That's crazy. When in the first 5 days, each $1 would give you 10,000 pulse points. That's crazy. Anyway, here we are with PulseX sacrifice. Those who missed the PulseChain aped into the PulseX sacrifice. Why? Because they saw what Hex did, and they saw how much people believe in Richard Hart and what PulseChain has done. So it's just a domino effect. Domino. It's a cascading, right? It's just everybody's just wanting to listen. You want to get onto something that's going to allow you to win. You want to get onto something that's allowing you to win. And then when you see these other things coming out of nowhere telling you, oh yeah, listen, we doing this on the PulseChain, and this is what's going to help the Hex community and the PulseChain community, and this and that. That's not going to stop. Sometimes you just got to let people get burned because they didn't believe you when you told them, yo, don't put your hand over that stove. You're going to get burned. Experience is the best teacher. Just let them do it. Let them get wrecked. Let people get wrecked. What you going to do? What you going to do? Increase blood pressure? Because, I get into it. Like, I find myself, I'm like all impassionate, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, what is it costing me? My heart rate increasing. For what? People are going to do what they're going to do. Why? Because this is a solo sport. I don't care what community you say you're a part of. That's the truth. This is a solo sport. And it's a vicious, vicious game. Dog eat dog. It's brutal. It's not for everybody. 1 minute you're up and the next minute you're all the way down. Possibly even lower than you were before. Can you handle that? A lot of people can't. They say they talk a good game. And when everything is going good, people are excited. People are excited. But then when everything turns south, it's a crazy bear market. The bear market is lasting 3 years. We just went through something that lasted 2 to 3 years as far as the bear market. A lot of y'all couldn't stand that. A lot of y'all would have left, like many have. There's many content creators and people who got into crypto who got scammed and just were completely turned off by it and disgusted and never came back. And if they did, they're just not on social media talking about it. It's a reality. It's a reality. This is what's going on. And you know what? All I could do is share information. That's it. I'm not trying to steer you in any, type of direction. I'm just trying to keep you informed and use the information sort of like, just like I'm educated. I've been educating myself and learning every day, because crypto, you're learning something every day. And there's other things that you can do. If you want, listen. You know what? The Hex, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to stop. Hex PulseChain PulseX. This is for long-term building, crazy loot, crazy money, long-term. It's not something that you deal with, that you trade, that you have to find a way to flip and make money every day on. No. That's not what this is for. And when you have things that are coming out of the woodwork telling you how you can do these things, basically interrupt the delaying of your gratification, right? Then you got to look at some things. You got to look at the risks involved there, because that's what some of these products, these third parties are trying to do. They're trying to interrupt you being able to pay yourselves in the future. And they, although these things could be needed and necessary, but do it somewhere else. Go shill that somewhere. You can't stop everybody from doing these things, man. That's just me being a human being, man. I don't want to see people get wrecked. I don't. You got Hex. You got Hex on Pulse. You got Hex on Ethereum. You about to have PulseChain. You about to have PulseX exchange. You about to have a liquidity pool token, reward token. And that's just the 5 basics. That's just, come on. You already have one right now. And then we waiting for PulseX. We waiting for PulseChain, then PulseX. Let that be like, if anything, if this is even real in crypto, let that be your safe, conservative bag. Then you want to play with this other stuff or whatever, that's your choice. You want to do some other things, do whatever, that's much more risky or whatever. That's you. Do what works for you. Do what works for you. But just always know, people are always lurking in the crypto shadows. And even in real life, they're looking to take what you have. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. And everything has a cost. Everything has a price. When somebody's showing you something and they're trying to convince you you need their product, you need their project, or you need their service, what's in it for them? Yeah, a lot of people don't think about certain things. They're not, holistic in their thinking. They just look at one thing from one perspective and that's it. You got to look at it from many perspectives. What's in it for them? Because you cannot tell me people are just trying to do this out of the kindness of their heart. No, they're not. They're trying to make money too. Everybody wants a piece of the pie, a piece of the action. But to what extent? To what extent? There's a lot of people that are vulnerable out here. There's a lot of people that are weak-minded and that are vulnerable. It is what it is. It's a fact of life. It's a fact of life. Why do you think telemarketers and fraudsters and people that commit all kinds of fraud, why do you think they still exist, these scammers? Why do you think they exist? Because there are people who are incredibly impressionable, from young to old, that remain victimized. That's why. And then you have some of us that should know better. We lose our rationality when we're presented with certain whatever promises that make us think, oh yeah, this could change so much. And we relinquish our power, we give it away to never recover from that again. That's what wrecked is all about. You're wrecked. You have nothing. You have nothing. You lost. You're not whole. Now you have to work 2-3 times as hard to get back to your base level. Because you're at a deficit. You're wrecked. What are we talking about? Hey, I don't know anything. Don't listen to me, folks. Don't listen. Always investigate for yourself. Do your own research. Like that is just, and be good with the decisions you make. Be good and comfortable and at peace with the decisions you make. Because I know at this point in my crypto experience, I know what's working for me. I know what's working for me. And it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. And we need to, that needs to be magnified. A great experience needs to overshadow the bad. Right? The greater experiences need to overshadow the bad. Because I talked about these third parties, right? These third party people, excuse me, What if they turn out good? Again, that's a plus. I hope they do. But I'm not aping in. I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch. Give it a year, 2 years, see what happens. Because I don't need them right now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. I don't. Because a lot of these things, again, when you talk about liquid loans, when you talk about Hedron, you're talking about using products because, okay, everything is long-term, right? With Hex. You're staking long-term. This is not money that you want right away. With things like liquid loans, oh, wait a minute. Let me see if I could borrow against whatever capital I have or collateral that I do have. Let me see if I could borrow. Let me see if I could take these stakes that I have and possibly sell them. Selling stakes or what, all this stuff. Like, listen, if you stuck to your plan is a year, 2 years, 5, 10, 15 years. Keep it there. Like, you get into this other stuff and, you playing these games with these people. And listen. I'm not even going to get into the technicals as far as, audits, code, no admin DA. That's a whole nother, I didn't even go there. I don't need to. I don't care. I don't care what y'all going through, what you got. I don't care. Been in this thing too long. Been in crypto too long. I don't need it. I don't need it. What I do need is the position that I'm in, that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful to be in a position that I'm in, where I don't have to accept anyone and everyone's promises to convince me to relinquish what I have, to give over to them. Again, the transference of wealth occurs from those who are impatient to the patient. When you do it, it's done. When you just give it away, it's done. You gave your business away for some immediate short-term needs, satiate your palate. But when that goes away, what happens? You have to start over again and lose out on a bunch of precious time that was working for you that you cannot recover. Right? Those who understand compounding interest earns it. Those who don't pays it. Like, this is not hard. Listen, folks. I'm going to talk to everybody later. Blessings to all of y'all. I hope you all remain well. And shout out to all my new subscribers. Shout out to my old subscribers. Shout out to all my viewers. I appreciate every single one of you for lending me your time as I create this content, all right? Thank you very much. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.